right? Sean Bowman is here. DeGuara is here. Maybe one more. I'd rather have an interior offensive lineman. The only OL here is Stephen Jones. Okay, so we'll see what ends up happening when it's all said and done. So 8 offensive linemen, 8 offensive players, 6 defensive players. When you look at the 14 that were here, a part of this football team during the month of August, working out at the Miller Electric Center, the 6 defensive players, I absolutely love what they have done here. I mean, this is great. Maybe the only thing I would look at and say, all right, Josh, the Hallett situation or Proctor situation, I could have seen another safety. Those two at times both did some interesting things, but they brought back Terrell Edmonds, man. The guy's played a ton in this league. And at corner, Trey Flowers. Sat with Dave Campbell throughout a lot of these practices. Dave Campbell's a big fan. He's long. Looks like he just, he hasn't lost a step. He's just been kind of caught up in a numbers game. And obviously Christian Braswell, who was the one guy that shocked me more than any that this organization did cut. A couple of guys on the edge, including DJ Coleman, which surprised many, including myself. Especially after the Gibson trade, I figured for sure he was your number 3, number 4 defensive end. We got a good explanation yesterday from Trent Baalke on that. We have more today on that with Ryan Nielsen. We'll get to that coming up here momentarily. And also a late addition in camp, a defensive end, and Joe Gaziano, who was added. So there you have one linebacker. And I tell you, Tanner Muse, he's a guy that do not be surprised if he gets called up and is a 4-core special teamer. If something happens to one of the other players and they cannot give it a go. That's why he's on this roster. They're not saying, well, we've got incredible linebacker depth. They kept 6 backers. That's not Tanner Muse. Remember him at Clemson? He played safety. He was a very good special teams player the last few years in Seattle. So this organization puts a lot of trust in special teams, and you should. It's so easily overlooked. I mean, to just about everyone, this is the greatest game in the world with the worst ending. Whether you're on the right side of it, a Morton Anderson miss, or you're on, which for Jacksonville is the right side of it, or you're on the opposite end of it, Florida State. Watching a 44-yarder. Of course, they gave up 14 yards in a screen pass. If not, it would have been a 58-yarder. But that's okay, guys. Fix it. We're here for you. Fix it, right? It's the greatest game on this planet. And it comes down to a kicker? I mean, really? The game of football that we love so much? We break down every little aspect of this game on the gridiron. Tough men, gladiators. Pushing and pulling and what goes on in the pile and just doing whatever you can to get it. And the game's got to come down to I mean, it's like, you don't see that in hockey. You play till you win. Put the puck in the net. You don't see that in the hardwood, right? They play until you go through overtime. Put the ball in the bucket. Baseball, now they've skirted those rules. Hey, let's speed up the game. Let's put a runner on second. All right, baseball's really screwed the pooch, right? But still, you score, you win. Maybe NASCAR with that ridiculous rule. I used to go every year with Miller Lite to the Daytona 500, then the summer Pepsi 400, and they'd have, always come down the last couple of laps, and then there'd be a 18-car pileup. And all of a sudden, here comes Jeff Gordon, ladies and gentlemen. He's going 55 miles an hour. He's going to win the Daytona 500 on a caution. So maybe that's it. But anyway, special teams are important. It's sad that it is that way. At least not a lot of huge games. What, Vinatieri made one in the Super Bowl? What other games I'm trying to think of the history of how many Super Bowls have we had? Don't ask me to look because they put those freaking, what are they called? Are they Roman numerals? Is that what they're actually called? I think I learned about them in like 6th grade.
Well, didn't we just have the Chiefs-Niners a couple years ago? Or
Did it come down to a kick?
Yeah, they were like right at the goal line and they could have scored, but they just didn't have to.
See if you can figure out what Super Bowl it is. Again, they're too. First of all, if I could get fined for saying Super Bowl. Second of all, I don't know what it is because, instead they have I's and V's and X's and all that stuff. Instead of just saying, hey, it's Super Bowl 57. No, they're going to screw with your brain. But I think we've only had one walk-off Super Bowl with a field goal.
And that was the Carolina game. Yeah, we've had some that it came down to a
St.
very
Louis,
late
too.
one. Yes,
I guess Vinatieri made two because he made the one against St. Louis.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
When U2 played in the Superdome, and I guess he made the one here against Carolina. But I never thought I would mention this. I'm just merely trying to tell you that special teams are so easily overlooked by some of the most passionate football fans, not only in Jacksonville, but in our country. It really is. But in a way, it's crazy that this physical game and everything that happens with it comes down to a damn kick. And that's just discouraging in my mind. It has nothing to do with all those wide rights, by the way. Florida State against Miami. Scott Bentley made the 4 in the Orange Bowl, right? Bobby Bowden said, let's give Warwick Dunn the ball twice all game. Let's play Nebraska in a phone booth, those big cord fang guys. Instead of giving the ball to our guys and watch them run, Tom Osborne wants to play it in the phone booth. Okay. Well, let's do it that way. Scott Bentley made 4 field goals in that 18-16 victory. Opening comments brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Okay? There's a go-to. There's a guy who believes in special teams. There's a guy as well who believes in family, generationally speaking. His daughter, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, fellowship-trained, cornea, cataract surgery, all refractive surgery. Just ask yourself this question because I do all the time. How are your eyes? Now ask yourself this question. Why do you keep putting it off? If something happens with your body, if something happens with your daughter or your son and their body, it's immediate care. It's an immediate trip to a doctor, to a specialist. Why is it that with eye care, it's I'll get to it. I don't need it today. I can wait another month. Okay. How are your eyes now compared to when you got up this morning? Fatigue, red spots. You think maybe it's a cataract issue? Do you think maybe you have allergies? Do you think maybe your eyes are just going and they're becoming worse and worse and worse? They all could be the case. That's why you need to set up an appointment today with the best in Jacksonville, Shmunez Vision. Check them out online, Shmunez Vision, also on Instagram at Shmunez Vision. All right, when we come back, some thoughts on this with the Jags. Want to begin to look at Florida and Miami. My goodness, what a football game on Saturday. We'll come back. We'll begin our preview with that. We're also 14 minutes away from the Philly Godfather, who's going to break down for us Florida, Miami, BC, Florida State, Clemson, Georgia, Texas A&M, and Notre Dame. The Philly Godfather, less than 15 minutes away.
Bringing you Jaguars players, coaches, and breaking news year-round.
We got to go back to our fundamentals.
On the home of the Jaguars.
Work on 3, 1, 2, 3.
1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
At Garber Auto Mall, we can wiggle it. Best price, we can wiggle it. Best trade value, we can wiggle it. Best payment, we can wiggle it. Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. With 8 American brands, we can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or online at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Do the Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
this is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
She's very comfortable talking sports and hanging out with the boys.
Mia O'Brien here, still providing the best multimedia sports coverage in Northeast Florida on 1010XL radio, video, and social channels.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
It's the best time of the year again. It's football season, and with football season here, fantasy football has arrived. And forget the season-long leagues. Underdog Fantasy and the Underdog Fantasy app is the way to go. I've been playing it now for almost a year, and it is just suits me to a T. First of all, it's simple, right? Just choose higher or lower on statistical projections, or compete against others in player v player fantasy games. Either way, there's so many options. There's research there on the site. It's easy to use, and right now, you can get a little bit extra. That's right. Go to the mobile app or underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with the promo code PROSSER. They're going to give you a special to use on your first contest and a deposit offer. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code PROSSER, and claim your new customer offer. Do it right now, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Got to be 18 or over, got to be present in the state where it's played, and call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org if you have a problem.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The good folks over at Thermal Engineers, they are hiring right now. Listen to this, for qualified technicians and installers in the air conditioning biz. Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. Go to Thermal Engineers Inc. Good friend of mine, Eric Neal. Good golf buddy of mine. He's been with the same company for 20 years. And he's like, I made the switch. I'm like, what's up? Like, thermal engineers is just too good to pass up. Incredible. So if you are looking for a positive change, your career's at the point right now where it's just not moving in the direction you want it to, why not become part of the Thermal Engineers family? More than 20 years they've served North Florida. HVAC contractor right here in town, commercially speaking. Qualified technicians and installers. Go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. or call them at 230-1172, an equal opportunity employer. Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. Thermal Engineers, Inc. How you feeling about Florida, Miami on Saturday? You're going, right?
I am. I'll be there. I'm extremely nervous. My excitement level is like I'm excited for the tailgate, the party, just being with friends and family, whatever. But like the game, I couldn't be more pessimistic about it.
Really?
I think we have a better team on paper. I think we definitely have like playmakers on offense. We have a quarterback. Our defensive line, I love Bain, these transfers. But it's the first week, and it's sort of tough to get a gauge on these college teams without seeing them play a cupcake at least once. And to go into the swamp, man, I am nervous. And all my friends are Gator fans, so just losing sucks when you have to hear it like that. Well, luckily, we'll play them again next year. But, yeah, I'm super nervous about the game.
Outside of the obvious, which would be enormous turnovers for either team, I think this comes down to, in the heat, who's able to run the football.
I agree.
And with Damian Martinez and Mark Fletcher, and especially with the injury, and we don't know for sure about Montrell Johnson, I favor Miami in that battle.
And Miami's D-line is supposed to, Florida State's supposed to. But, Miami's supposed to have the better of the trenches, both offensively and defensively. I think they'll run the ball. I think they'll try to not have the quarterback have to do too much in his first game with the offense and try to quiet the crowd down. And that's how you do it. Work the ball or run the ball.
Yeah, the flip side is Miami's replacing 4 starters in the secondary. And
Yes.
Graham Mertz, I don't think gets the credit that he deserves. He is accurate. And he's got talent. He's got 7 or 8 wide receivers, including Trey Wilson. I think if it becomes that type of football game, Florida could have some success depending on how that offensive line holds up against this very dominant Miami defensive line. But this is going to be an incredible football game, and it's going to be one we're going to spend a lot of time on this coming up right now with the Philly Godfather here on the other side. I really want to take a look at it. John Osher is going to join me at 7. Osher's thoughts on the 53-man roster as well as the 16-player special team. Someone just asked me about what does it mean when you're a healthy scratch? Sometimes I say stuff and I'm under the assumption that you understand it all because this is a very intelligent listening audience. A healthy scratch means you're on the 53-man active day roster. You got to have it cut down to 48 90 minutes before kick. So there's always going to be 5 players who cannot go. Now, there are ways that you can bring up 2 from the practice squad. That's pretty thorough as far as the explanation. I'll go through that another time. But a healthy scratch is a guy who can play. And you can also be injured and not on the IR and considered a healthy scratch. But that's what happens when you go on game day from 53 to 48. All right, coming up next, let's do it. First time we've talked to him since March Madness. Let's bring in the Philly Godfather.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Bold City AC, keeping you cool. Feeling the heat, Jacksonville? Cool down with Bold City Heating and Air. From repairs to energy-efficient installs, we do it all. Family-owned and trusted since 2016, we offer clear pricing, NATE-certified techs, and unbeatable service. Call Bold City Heating and Air today and experience the bold difference. Bold City AC, keeping you cool. Bold City AC. Visit boldcityac.com.
Hey, folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us. But for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks. But I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners. Always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
We love talking sports on 1010XL, and I9 Sports loves giving kids the perfect way to grow up playing sports. Fall and winter registration is underway. Log on to i9sports.com and see all they've got to offer. Kids 3 and up. You can enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay. Sign up now for fall and winter. Great locations added like Fort Family Field, Westside Middle, and Duval Charter Bay Meadows. It's all online at i9sports.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 28, 1994, at the 94th U.S. Golf Amateur Championship, golf pro Tiger Woods becomes the youngest to ever win the championship at age 18.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and let me give it to you straight. Here's what happened. One day at the radio station, a big shout out to Greg, by the way, he tells me about his new weight loss client entering Jacksonville. He knew I'd been griping about my weight and thought it'd be perfect for me. My response, yes, please. So I ended up on a call with Paige, the owner of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. By the end of that call, my only question was, what's the catch? Awaken 180 sounded too good to be true. Eat to lose weight? No meds? No workouts? Really? Paige just smiled through the phone and said, there is no catch, Mike. Awaken 180 works. I was skeptical, but intrigued. But after the first week, I was sold. I dropped 9.5 pounds that week, and 26 pounds later, I reached my goal. The amazing part, and a main reason I chose Awaken 180, the weight has stayed off. If losing weight is your goal, I suggest having the same conversation I had with Awaken 180. Schedule yours today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey there, all you fun-loving sports maniacs, a.k.a. taco lovers. Don here from Taco Lou. I'm quite proud to say that we have the best staff in all of Duval.
Don't you mean Louval?
Say hello to Lizzie.
Hello, Jacksonville.
I suppose I do mean Louval. Say, Liz, what's your favorite cocktail to make?
The Double Barrel Margarita. It's Herradura, Tequila Reposado, orange liqueur, orange juice, and our homemade sour mix. We call it Lou Brew. Give it a good shake and serve.
Well, thanks, Lizzie.
Come in and hang with me at the bar. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Need to enhance your home's curb appeal? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Replacing with new stone pavers will transform your driveway into a stunning work of art. Say goodbye to unsightly concrete and hello to beautiful, durable pavers that last for years. Visit Stonecore today and let's beautify your home together. Stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Don't ignore unusual aches or new pains down there. Be proactive and get screened at Ackerman Urology for common cancers of the prostate, bladder, or kidneys. Early detection is the key. With 5 locations across Northeast Florida, visit AckermanUrology.com.
This is Dr. Michael Iorio, internal medicine physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Yesterday, the Jaguars let go of their longest tenured player on the team, Tyler Shatley. Shatley spent a decade with the team, and even though they announced his departure, the door will be left open for him to return if injuries to the O-line occur. Here's Doug Peterson on the tough decision to cut the veteran.
The longevity that he's had, here in Jacksonville, and it's tough when they've been a staple in the community and on your team and in your organization for as many years as he has, and appreciate his hard work. He's another one of those guys that he kept working his tail off. We'd get an injury in the offensive line and he would go in, and he's just Mr. Reliable. And it's tough to make those decisions.
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Peaceful day in Duval for now, but it starts really revving up tomorrow night. Plenty of games on a Thursday, Friday, and then this weekend, week 1 in college football. Let's bring in our good friend. He's a friend of ours. He is the Philly Godfather, and he joins Rick Ballou. Mr. Philly, how you been, sir?
Great, man. Just getting down to work, down and dirty, researching, data mining, looking for some predictive indicators to help us invest in the sports betting market.
We haven't spoken to you since March Madness. How did the summer go with baseball, with the Olympics, the NBA, the NHL playoffs? How has the off football season gone for you, Philly Godfather?
I can't complain. We had the Mavericks at 25-1 to win the whole thing, and when they got to the championship, obviously we hedged the other side and made some free money. Didn't do much with the Olympics, but baseball season has been unreal, and we're holding futures on the Yankees and Phillies to win the whole thing at 15-1 and 13-1.
Wow.
So we're in a good position.
Yeah, it's wide open this year, Major League Baseball. A crazy year, no doubt about it. All right, right down the road here, Saturday, 3:30. What a matchup. They don't play yearly as we know, but it's Miami, that very talented skill position offense, going up against the University of Florida. A lot of interesting things have been said about the Gators during the offseason. What do you make of the Gators and the Canes?
Yeah, this market opened up with Miami being a 3-point favorite, and there was some sharp money immediately snatched up Florida +3, which forced the bookmakers to move off that key number down to 2.5. On paper, this game appears to be a coin flip, and anytime the bookmakers are offering you 3 points on their home team, I would usually take it. But this year, I'm extremely bullish on the Hurricanes. I took them to go over 9 wins to make the playoffs +220 for nice-sized wagers. And I also nibbled on them at 65-1 to win the national championship for some small money, nothing big. I'm expecting this Hurricanes team to have the top 5 offensive and defensive line this season. Then you add a QB in Cam Ward that has the 5th best odds to win the Heisman at 15-1. And you got a team here that can compete for the ACC crown with Clemson this season. Last year, if you look at Miami's schedule, they lost 3 games by 1 score or less. As long as Miami doesn't end up 90th in the nation again in the turnover margin and have 79 infractions for 751 yards again this year, they're going to have a gret season. I think Miami has the better QB here, the better defensive line. I'm expecting Cam Ward to dice up Florida's defense, which placed 111th in team coverage grade and 62nd in team pass rushing grade last season. On defense, the Gators also lost their star edge defender and 2 of its top 3 cornerbacks to the transfer portal this offseason. So I think Cam Ward's going to have a big day. It's never easy playing in the swamp, but I'm going to go against the sharp move here on the screen. I like Miami here on the money line.
All right, very interesting. How long does it usually take you? I mean, let's be honest. On Saturday, compared to Sunday, they're pros and they're usually right. It's almost like mid-season when it comes to not making mental mistakes and things along those lines. This still happens a lot in the college game. How much does that come into play about offsides and creating some stupid things that are fixable, let's say 3 or 4 weeks down the year?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the coach. If you got a new coach, new quarterback, obviously. There's so many different variables that you got to take in consideration. But these 2 teams last year ranked 90th and 96th in turnover margin. So they both made a lot of mistakes last season. And usually the following season, they upgrade from that. So I'm expecting both teams to play better, not have as many penalties and turnovers this season.
All right, Billy Godfather likes the Canes here, -2 and a hook. High noon game, which is disappointing. I mean, this should be at night, and it is in Atlanta. I swear, whenever Georgia won't play a neutral game outside of Atlanta, except for, of course, the yearly matchup here at the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Clemson and Georgia. What do you make of the double-digit line in this game?
Yeah, like you said, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. All right, let's go. What's it, 159, 160 on your sports betting screen. This game originally opened up with the Bulldogs being 13-point favorites over the Tigers. We saw some early money hit the screen on Georgia. forced the odds makers to adjust the line up to as high as -14. But then yesterday around lunchtime, we saw some real sharp money invest in Dabo Sweeney's team. They took +14 on the Tigers, and as of right now, the line is fluctuating. Georgia -13, 13.5 at most shops. You might still find a 14 depending on which sports book you use. The total has also been bouncing around from the opening number of 47.5 to as high as 49, 49.5 before settling in at the current number of 48.5 everywhere. And the last time I looked at the ticket splits in Vegas, and I talked to my buddies offshore, right around 65% of the early public money is on Georgia. And with that said, it's always a little difficult handicapping the first game of the season, right? We all know Georgia has the best odds to win the national championship this year at 3-1. There's 11 teams with better odds than Clemson to win it all at 40-1. But like I said, it's the first game of the season. 14 points might be a little too much here to lay. Georgia's a little banged up a little bit going into this game, and there's some rumors of suspensions lingering after a few players were arrested this offseason on driving-related charges. So you might know more about that than I do.
I was going to say a few players. It's like more than half the team, for crying out loud.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think this is the first time Clemson has been a double-digit underdog in over a decade as well. But I like the Tigers here +14. I mean, the team's loaded. Yeah, they're loaded. I mean, they're plus, 280 to win the ACC, slightly above Miami. And their defense, I mean, they were one of the best in the country last year, tied for the most takeaways in the nation, top 10 defense. I think the defense can keep them within the number.
There's a release there. Clemson +14, high noon on Saturday. Georgia playing right there at home in Atlanta inside the Dome. Give us the latest. What do you got, Philly Godfather, so our listeners can reach you on social media?
Yeah, at Twitter. I'm sorry, at X now these days. At Philly Godfather.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can follow me at thephillygodfather.com. That's my website.
Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Saturday night in College Station. Your thoughts?
I went on the 47.5 in this game. If you can find a 47, I still think you can cash a ticket. The reason being is Notre Dame has an elite defense, top 5 defensive line, and secondary. Their quarterback, Leonard, can beat you with his legs, but has some work to do as a passer. And on the Aggie side, their biggest strength is their defense as well. So their weakness is on their interior offensive line. So I think Dame gets some pressure on Connor Wegman throughout the game, and I think scoring is going to be at a premium. I like the under 47.5. When it comes to this side, I think A&M at home, at a pick'em, that's what the line originally opened up at. I think that was the right number. But now it's moved to 3. If it gets to 3.5, I might look to take a small position on Notre Dame. And again, like I said, it's going to be a defensive battle, and it's all about the price. I mean, I like A&M at a pick 'em, but if it gets to 3.5, I like Notre Dame plus the points.
We could have more unders here with these new clock rules. I mean, I know there's not a big sample size, but that Florida State Georgia Tech game, I want to say there were only 12 might have been 14 possessions. Florida State only had 1 possession in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we could, but see, the issue is, bookmakers love to always over-adjust early and then come back if they're unsure of something. So you might be playing games that are 2-point higher than usual. So you got to really, you can't paint everything with a broad brush. You really got to break down the games as much as possible. And this year's going to be a little different. So pump your brakes. Don't go as heavy on your wagers early until you get a feel for it. And then, sky's the limit.
Last game for you, Philly Godfather, is Labor Day evening. The aforementioned Florida State Seminoles playing host to Bill O'Brien's BC Eagles.
Yeah, I took Boston College as soon as that line opened up. I took +21 with some small coin. The total opened up at 51.5. I went under 51. I think it's down to 50 right now. The point spread dropped down to 16. If it gets any lower, I might be looking to come back with a bigger position on Florida State, man. The Boston College might not win 6 games all season. They still have a strong run game. Their quarterback can run the ball, Castellanos. I think he came in second only to Jaden Daniels last year in rushing yards. But he has an issue passing the ball, and he's a turnover machine. He was last season anyway. So if the game gets down to 14, that's 16 now. I might look to take Florida State at -14, and I got a little extra money at BC at +21. That's a huge middle opportunity for me. I think if it gets any lower, I would look to play Florida State.
Really interesting. All right, hey, before we say goodbye, did you play any national title props this year heading into the season?
Yeah, I put a big wager on Ohio State, +400 to win it all. I mean, who's got a better roster than Ohio State? Georgia, maybe. Ryan Day's team's loaded. You got Will Howard at QB. He's got the third best odds to win the Heisman with the Chip Kelly offense. I mean, if that doesn't scare you. And you arguably have maybe the best defense in the country, if not top three. You look at their schedule, Penn State, I think they're better than them, better coaching, better roster. Oregon in week 6, at Oregon is going to be a war. If they can win that, then they finish the season against Michigan. And I'm expecting Michigan to regress this season after I had them last year to win it all. I like Ohio State here, 4-1. I mean, they spent $20 million on that team?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, absolutely. I saw the article the other day. Yeah, 4-1, and hey, that Ohio State-Oregon deal. I mean, they could end up playing 3 times this year, which is nuts with the 12-team college football playoff. All right, Philly Godfather. Once again, on X, how our listeners can get a hold of you.
Yeah, I'm on X at Philly Godfather. My website's thephillygodfather.com, and I bet the over 8.5. The Orioles-Dodgers games tonight if you want some baseball action.
Ooh, all right. I know Freeman didn't play last night. We'll see if he's able to give it a go tonight. But there you go, some late-night baseball. Philly Godfather, always a pleasure, sir. Talk with you next Wednesday.
Good luck, guys.
There he goes. Philly Godfather. 4 big releases and a freebie as well with Baltimore and L.A. playing the over. 4-1. See, that's a grind for very little return. I mean, plus 400, you lay $100, you get back 400, right? You get $100 back too. But it's a smart bet. It's just not, a huge payout. Now, I don't know what he put on. He could have put 10 grand on it. If so, he's getting back 40 grand. Then that is a pretty good investment. But I never looked at it in my days of betting, that amount of money.
What bet were you talking about that's 4-1?
Ohio State to win the national title.
I see. Yeah, like that. That's like betting Scotty Scheffler to win a golf tournament.
Yeah.
It's just not a lot of bang for your buck.
But I mean, I said 10 grand. I don't think he would risk 10 grand.
No,
on something
not
like
even
that.
him.
But if let's say you put 100, you put $100 on it, you're only winning $400.
For a season-long bet. And then your bet, I would like to see what the odds were at the beginning of the playoffs. I bet they're the same. So, maybe even better. So I just wouldn't take that. I guarantee them getting into the playoffs, they're going to be about a 4-1 bet, right? Wouldn't you think? So what's really the difference in waiting? I don't know. I don't love that one.
I've always been a fan that if you're going to do something like this, whether it's now in college football or if it's in the National Football League, and I'll look for the very latest on the Jaguars to win the Super Bowl, I think you should play with 2 games. I think you should put one in who you think is going to win it, okay, along with the best value. Again, it's a long year to grind out 12 games for Ohio State plus a Big Ten championship game and the playoffs. I mean, you're talking about maybe, 15 games, and you're not getting a big return. It's also smart to find another school. Is there someone else that maybe it is Clemson? Okay, he said they were 12th in the odds, so you're getting a 40-1 or 45-1. If all of a sudden you get a surprise team like that, that's really where you can benefit financially. That has always been my look at it. And again, I haven't played in well over 10 years. And
what do you think the Jags is right now? Since you brought it up,
do you have it?
I do.
To win the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Let me guess here. I will say Jaguars to win the Super Bowl. 75-1.
50.
Okay.
Slimmer than you thought.
50-1.
But to win the AFC, it's not that much different. 35-1.
Okay.
It just shows how strong the AFC is compared to the NFC.
Yeah, and we can go back to our conversation we had last week about Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. They announced their top quarterbacks. They were all in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't announce one NFC quarterback. I was a little bit surprised by some individual numbers. I believe we talked about this recently as well. Brian Thomas Jr., after the training camp he had those 2 tough days to begin training camp at the Miller Electric Center. Then he went off. He's gone from 25-1 to 45-1 as far as his odds to win the Rookie of the Year. So I was a little bit surprised by that. Perhaps they know something that we don't. But when you look at it, let's see, 45 to 1, that would put him around 12th. Caleb Williams 3-2, Jaden Daniels 5-1, Harrison Jr. 7-1, Neighbors 8-1, Bo Nix 9-1, Keon Coleman 15-1, Worthy, Xavier Worthy 20-1, Drake May 28-1, Ladd McConkey 33-1, and then you have Brian Thomas in at 45-1. So I don't know what happened, but
wow, talk about not getting a good payoff for a whole season worth of play is Caleb Williams at plus 135.
Yeah, why would
You're not
do
even getting $1.50 for that bet.
Why would you do it?
Yeah. Here's a crazy one. Defensive Rookie of the Year leader Jared Verse for the Rams at 3.5 to 1.
I looked at depth charts last night after the 53. LA has Verse starting at outside linebacker, and they have Fisk starting as a big defensive end. Both rookies.
Yeah, he's 30 to 1 to win.
Yep. So we will see. All right. Our buddy John Osher is getting set to join us here in our second hour. Then we're really going to hammer it with you and your input on the text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. After John Osher, we'll certainly dive back in to the Jaguars, but I want to begin to get your thoughts on this Florida-Miami football game. To me, this is kind of a great unknown. You can absolutely make a case for both of these teams to win the football game. To me, it's got a little bit of that old school feel that we saw forever between Florida State and Miami, where the one statistic you just looked at more than any was rushing yards. And I want to say for like 21, 22 straight years, whoever won that game rushed the ball the most. I think it got snapped the year Greg Jones went for like 180 plus, one of those noon starts in the Orange Bowl. And, I'm just all those years. That might have been the Bethia miss.
2000 maybe.
Might have been, yeah. All those years run together now, looking back on it. But it just feels like this is the way this game is going to set up. Now, granted, I felt like I spelled out every way that Georgia Tech could win the game against Florida State, and they did it. I totally missed my analysis on Florida State. This game here between Florida and Miami, I think you're looking at two teams who have the ability to do a variety of different things. We knew going in that Florida State would not be able to play come from behind passing football. And they did on the one drive that they needed it, even though it was very bad play calling by Mike Norvell. Both these teams can come from behind. They have explosive. I mean, right now, Miami's got 3 wide receivers on the preseason Biletnikoff award list. And Florida's loaded. Florida probably believes they have the best. And Trey Wilson. But, Restrepo, we saw what George did in that matchup last year, a few games, including Florida State, where he went nuts. And they went out and got Samuel Brown. All the talk is about Cam Ward and about Damian Martinez, who was at Oregon State last year and ran it for nearly 1,200 yards. I love Mark Fletcher, who played last year as a true freshman. But now, they're beginning to really talk about these 3 wide receivers that they do have at the U. So this is going to be a lot of fun, no doubt about it. Today, for what it's worth, a lot of talk about DJ Lagway, and the spin by Billy Napier was actually pretty good. He said a lot, but said nothing, if that makes sense. He talked the comparing of Mertz and Lagway and how they have 2 totally different styles, right? Lagway is going to be a threat with his feet as well, but, the question was, is he going to see any playing time on Saturday? And it was a very long-winded answer by Billy Napier, but he didn't tell us. Graham Mertz, very efficient. And in a game like this, you absolutely want him playing. I'd be surprised if we see even a package for Lagway in this game. I do. I think it's a Cam Ward, Graham Mertz, and what team rushes the ball the best wins it. If you missed us, the Philly Godfather likes Miami here. He's got it at the magic number, though, -2.5 compared to the 3s that could be out there. So do some shopping and get the number that you like the best for this matchup. Coming up next, senior writer from Jaguars.com, John Osher, goes into the night.
Want more Jags? Subscribe to the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube channel. Looking for more in-depth coverage of the Gators? Subscribe to the 1010XL Gators YouTube channel. Need your FSU fix? Well, subscribe to the 1010XL Seminoles YouTube channel. Your favorite team, one specific location.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
This is Hayes Carline here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Mia here. Are you ready for the ultimate college football season? Using MyBookie Sportsbook and casino platform, you can bet on every game and win anytime, anywhere, straight from your mobile device. No app needed. Just head on over to mybookie.ag, sign up, and you're ready to rock. When you bet with MyBookie, you're not just watching the games, folks. You're investing in every moment of the action. I'll say it from experience. A few bucks on the line can turn any regular game into one of the most exciting of the season. Literally, every catch, every sack, and every touchdown is another way to hit pay dirt using MyBookie. Don't forget to use promo code 1010XL when you sign up in order to claim up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Nick in here for About 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Ballou is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of About 9. Visit About 9 Associates today and experience the difference. About 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Looking for a new or used firearm? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach will get you locked and loaded. New firearms coming in weekly and always looking for used guns. No lines and no waiting. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
Hon, what do you say we go to the supermarket today?
Again? Weren't we just there yesterday?
Well, yeah, but it's just so nice and cool in there.
Why don't we just get our air conditioning fixed?
Can we afford it?
We can with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. They offer financing.
Oh, cool.
Yes, it will be.
Beat the Florida heat with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Jacksonville area's AC experts. Repairs to new installations. Trust the Duck to keep your cooling costs low. DuckDuckAC.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
John Ocher, ladies and gentlemen, a fixture here in Duval, including on Into the Night on Wednesdays. Great work throughout camp. Everything from John and his staff available to you at Jaguars.com. He is their senior writer. John, I noticed you stayed hydrated throughout camp, and it was hot, but it's not like the old days, man. That Miller Electric Center's got shade. It's a beautiful building.
Yeah, the shade, obviously, you know, as most fans who have been there know, it's just huge on that one side, and the media can stand under there. And, you know, nobody really cares if we're comfortable, Rick.
Yeah.
But you know who does care? Us. That's what matters.
And I thought it was a really good camp. All right, first things first, the 53, some things happened that I didn't see coming. Perhaps you did. Let's begin with the trade of Trevis Gibson.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear. You know, you acquired him in March and thought he was going to be the third edge, and then once you got here, it was a good move in the sense that very little signing bonus, and said, okay, come in, we'll see how it's a fit. And my only interpretation is, A, Eric Armstead is much more of an end than I think a lot of people talk about. The team, since they acquired Armstead, has only talked about him as an end. I think those of us who analyze have sort of always kept thinking tackle, but he's outside guy in this defense is how they see him, along with Trayvon and Josh. And then clearly Miles Cole, I wrote him off a little bit, thought he was a project that would be a practice squad guy playing next year. They think he's going to matter. I mean, so I think that opened the door of, look, we're keeping 11. They really obviously like the 11 they kept up front, and I think they looked at it as maybe not making the team anyway. I mean, it's I don't think you trade him if you thought he was going to be on your roster.
Mm-hmm.
So a move that I think more than anything speaks to how they like the front 11 that they did keep.
Yeah.
And I got a 6 for it. So good for them.
Yeah, I was wondering, is the other part of it, they're really encouraged about Mason Smith. And, Jordan Jefferson was slowed. He didn't get as much as far as reps in because of his injury earlier in training camp. Tyler Lacey's a guy. Robertson Harris is a guy. It just feels like there's guys that can do a lot of different things. And to me, the most exciting part of this, we saw the 5-player substitution on the 4th play defensively against Kansas City. I'm really intrigued to see how this substitution pattern is going to work once they get down there in Miami.
Yeah, and I think that probably the best way to describe it is, doesn't it feel like we can pretend to analyze all we want, but I don't know how it's going to look. And I'm not sure they've shown how it's going to look on the front. Every time you talk to Ryan Nielsen or anybody about it, it's, hey, we've got a bunch of guys we feel like can play all over the place. And then I keep getting questions about what's the depth chart going to look like.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I think there's going to be Trayvon playing inside, Armstead playing out, Trayvon playing outside, Armstead playing in. I think you're pretty sure that Josh is going to line up on an edge and that Devon Hamilton's going to be on the nose. Beyond that, I could foresee pretty much anybody up front lining up at a bunch of different spots. So, and I think there's going to be some of those hockey lines that you talked about when you asked Doug about it or Ryan Nielsen. Yeah. It's going to look like I've never really seen this before, and I'm interested in seeing how it's all going to look once we stop talking about it and start playing games.
It's. I mean, to me, it's like Christmas morning, and I'm a kid. I mean, this is because I think it's been relatively boring around here as of late with the way that the defense was run. And, for 2 years we heard, well, can Trayvon Walker rush inside? I think he got, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he had 13 snaps inside last year. I mean, could we actually have Eric Armstead on an edge, Trayvon inside in a pass rush situation?
Yeah, I think what you could see very easily is when they say, okay, what's the play we got to have?
Mm-hmm.
I think you could see Hamilton, Walker, Armstead, and Josh Hines Allen on the field and feel like, Devin Lloyd behind it, Aluakon behind it, feel like there's some guys out of that bunch that can go get the quarterback wherever they line up. And I just get the idea that trying to figure out if a guy's going to be on the nose, if he's going to be, what gap, I think they're going to be all over the place. So, yeah, I think I said over and over again, to me, the 4 guys I just listed, Hamilton, Hines Allen, Walker, and Armstead, that to me is the key to the defense.
Yeah.
If those 4 guys are disruptive and dominant, which it wouldn't shock you at the end of the season if you picked any of those guys as your best defensive player. That may be insulting to Hines Allen because he's probably it, but you know what I'm saying? They're all 4 big-time players. If they all play like it, this is a stout, disruptive defense that might even compare with that front and 17. Whoa, can't say that, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Jaguars announced their 53-man roster yesterday, and today they have officially announced 14 returning players, part of the 16-team practice squad unit. John Osher, our guest. All right, the biggest shock for me was Christian Braswell. Now, the good news is they brought him back. Apparently, he had other offers. They brought him back today, put him on the practice squad. But this is 100%. I did not see this coming.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming, but the practice squads around the league, again, since they started expanding them, they've really changed a little bit in the sense that teams are using them very much as expanded rosters. And I think that was the case with Christian Braswell. I think they had a pretty good idea going into this that they could get him back. I think the reason that they went the route they did, Doug Peterson sort of hinted at it on Monday, that both he and Trent were really focused on keeping the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets down to week 8, if you've got a couple injuries on either offensive or defensive line, you want guys that can play up there, right? Like, you want them everywhere, but you need them up there. They're hard to find. I think they looked at guys on the back end, Braswell, Eric Hallett, guys like that, and said, you know what? Better chance of getting them through and getting them back than the guys up front. And I think they still like Braswell a lot. I think they feel like he's part of their future. It was just a calculated risk of, can we get him back?
Yeah.
And they're glad they did. The other interesting thing about the practice squad, how it's operating now, if you think about it, guys like Trammell, who get released, clearly they can go to these guys when they release them and say, hey, we want you back. I know Doug Peterson loved Trammell, right? So go to him and say, look, we really see you as part of this. It was a numbers thing. At some point during the season, you're probably going to be up. We like the way you fit the system. Maybe you're better off here where you've been for 6 months than going to a new place where you learned the offense yesterday.
Yep.
So I think you're going to see that a lot more of the 4 or 5 guys after the 53 really being part of the team.
Yeah, and with the 16-team practice squad, the 6 veterans that you can keep with you, I love the fact that Terrell Edmonds and Trey Flowers are – I mean, those guys have played a ton in this league, and if you need them, you can call them up.
Yeah, same deal. I don't know this for a fact, but going to those guys late in the process and saying, hey, here's how it looks like it's going to play out. We love you, but 56, 57, 58 guys we're thinking of are part of this team. You're one of those guys. We think we can get you through. We're not so sure about the big defensive end because, you know, teams put a premium on getting those guys. It's NFL reality. If you go to them, explain that and say, we want you around, you're probably going to – you'll be the first person called up in case of an injury, right?
Yeah.
Well, hearing that here, if you go to Cincinnati, I'm just picking a team out of the blue. You go to Cincinnati, you're the new face. Well, they've already got their Terrell Edmonds on their practice squad. So you're going there to back up that. They may like a practice squad better than the guy they claim. So, you know, I think you're going to see that more and more. And it certainly makes roster management infinitely easier. And I've got to think that over time, it helps the quality of play.
All right, John, last one for you. 10 offensive linemen, 5 tackles. Still a little thin to me at guard as far as the backup with Cooper Hodges. You have Stephen Jones, your only offensive lineman of the 14 on the practice squad. Do you see something still in the works here for an interior offensive lineman?
You know, I don't think so, but maybe like I didn't really keep track of Blake Hance today. I know he didn't come back.
Right.
He may be looking for something else, a way to get on a 53 somewhere. I don't know what's going to happen with Tyler, meaning, you know, Shatley. Does he go ahead and retire? Do they have him back on the practice squad? I don't know those things yet. Also, you have Cooper Hodges. You also still have the Walker Little option as a backup interior. So it sort of feels like in a pinch, if they get 2 guards hurt and you roll Hodges and Little with Morse, Cam Robinson, and Anton Harrison, you know, you feel okay. There's been worse offensive lines than that lineup here, Rick. So I think they feel like they have some options and that they're maybe not as thin at guard in fact as they are on paper.
No. Make sure you get everything at Jaguars.com. Updated material daily. And obviously that includes their senior writer, John Osher. John, always a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Rick, thanks, buddy.
There he goes. John Osher. Good stuff there. So, yeah, I'm encouraged by this practice squad, and I'm sure just about, everyone who covers the team says that, but it's only because I watched them practice every day, and they're professionals. Christian Braswell, to me, was the most important one to return, and he's back. Yet you got a guy like Trey Flowers, who's a corner, who's back with phenomenal NFL, not phenomenal, but tons of NFL experience. Terrell Edmonds as a safety. Plenty of NFL experience. Tanner Muse is a linebacker. Again, that is for special teams only. What if you're in a bad stretch? You've had some special teams guys who have been banged up so far this year, right? What if all of a sudden Daniel Thomas can't go? You need a special teams guy. Well, Tanner Muse is a guy that he's not here for linebacker depth. He's here for special teams depth. And then you add the 3 wide receivers and Cephas and Cooks and Trammell. Trammell's totally different from Cooks. Cooks is 6'4", right? Big body. Trammell's a small guy. He's a slot wide receiver. Jalen Jackson's guy, along with Christian Braswell, those are the 2 on this practice squad that I had making the 53-man roster. I think Jalen Jackson is a talented kid, just sitting there waiting for his opportunity, right? And how this league works, Travis Etienne is signed for 2 more years because his 5th-year option was picked up. Tank Bigsby's in year 2 of his rookie contract. Ernest Johnson, they've kept around here. Clearly the number 3 guy. Keelan Robinson's injured. He's on the IR, but Dalvin Cook signed today in Dallas. He waited. He didn't have apparently an offer until today. Can you imagine saying that 2 years ago about Dalvin Cook? We know the life expectancy of running backs in the National Football League. It's almost like a supermodel, right? All of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, what happened? That's the deal with these running backs. So I'm not giving up on Jalen Jackson. No way. Tough kid. All right, when we come back, let's get some stuff from you. Let's do a couple of things here. Let's come back, get your reaction to what the Jaguars have done here, whether it was yesterday or today, 641-1010 on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. And I'm starting to get this vibe, okay? And, JJ, I want you to tell me if I'm wrong. But I'm getting a feeling right now that Florida thinks they're going to lose and that Miami thinks they're going to lose.
That's exactly what it is. I haven't heard it put it that simply, but absolutely. If you talk to my entire friend group, they're all Gators, and they feel like I do, which is very pessimistic about the game. And I think both fan bases have a reason to feel like that.
Yeah.
After the last however long, especially last season, both teams ended so poorly. I don't fault either fan base for feeling like that.
Yeah, it's a great feeling if you're on the outside looking in, like I am. Now, I've been to other games where it's been the exact opposite. Last year in Orlando, when it was Florida State LSU, both fan bases were absolutely convinced that they were going to win that game. And you get that more because fans are believers and fans drink the Kool-Aid. But this is my feeling of this game here on a Wednesday night. It's like both these fan bases are kind of like, are we really facing one another on the final day of August? Can't you give us a cupcake to kick off the season and
Akron,
play this in week 2?
I think it's because both fan bases don't necessarily love their coaches right now. No. The Gators are really down on Billy, and Canes fans love what I know I'm speaking for everyone here, but it seems like Canes fans are very excited about like Mario's off the field stuff. He's killing it in recruiting. He's a great speaker. He says all the right things. He's a former Cane. He loves the program, but we saw some of the in-game situations last year that bit us in the ass. Us, Miami, Georgia Tech game, obviously the big one. Neither fan base is in love with their coach. Miami fans are excited about the quarterback and what could be the rest of the season, but they're certainly nervous about this one.
Let's come back. Let's do that. Let's grab your input on it. 641-1010. That is the text line, and it's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
This is
1010XL.
We Are
Sports Radio Jacksonville.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect pair for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 28, 1994, at the 94th U.S. Golf Amateur Championship, golf pro Tiger Woods becomes the youngest to ever win the championship at age 18.
Hey gang, Hicken here for Zero Res. Man, it is hot outside this time of the year. Many of us are staying inside or going to the pool. Well, my friends at Zero Res are also heating things up. As you know, Zero Res does a great job of cleaning carpets and rugs. But they also clean luxury vinyl planking, tile and grout, fine stone, and hardwood floors. And right now, the hottest price of the year, 25% off all hardwood cleaning. That's 25% off tile, LVP, fine stone, and hardwood floors. Zero Res, man, spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it back. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Did it rain a lot this morning?
No, it was nice and sunny.
Well, the backyard's kind of swampy.
Huh, yeah. Especially where the septic tank is.
Oh, no. When was the last time we had our septic tank pumped?
Don't neglect your septic. Just call Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing and septic experts. DuckDuckRooter.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars, to trucks, to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
If I was to describe this sandwich in one word, I would say magical. Hi, this is Jamor, and the little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is that extra oomph. I go back and forth from the spicy filet to the original filet. I get into the sweetness of the honey, then you have the extra kick from the spicy filet. The combination alone takes it over the top. is award-winning.
The Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back with a bite. Try it with the original or spicy filet, now for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjax.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
This is 1010XL's Dylan Denmark. They call me Pockets on the radio, but for my floral needs, I only call Kuhn Flowers. Never take chances when you send a floral arrangement. Always use the best in the business, Kuhn Flowers. Kuhn Flowers.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Dollar Oysters right now, Blue Crab Crab House, right off of San Jose, Jointon Creek Road. Pablo Cruz taking you through Wednesday night. And I'll tell you, as I sat with Tom, the owner, Tom and Cindy own it. The Jags played Friday, so it would have been Thursday night. Did I do a Thursday show with Hayes 3 to 6 or 4 to 6?
You did.
That was it. And I'm still in training camp mode. My brain in the month of August is just
all the days
one
go together.
Long running mirage, if you will. But yeah, we went to the Blue Crab House. Got there about 6:30, and they had to escort us out of there at 9:30. Doing those peanut butter shots.
Oh.
And
peanut butter whiskey.
And it'd been a while because I've had some stomach issues. It'd been a while since I'd really gotten after it in Ballou's bar late at night. But it happened then. And I want to tell you something. The food was absolutely spectacular. I want to take you and your bride there on a Friday coming up.
I love that.
Because we get off at 6. They play either 70s or like the Yacht Rock inside the restaurant.
I love that vibe.
So I'm singing and just having a great DJing. I mean, again, this stuff's fine. I mean, this sports talk stuff, it's been a fun profession for nearly the last 33 years. But if I could do it all over again, I'd drink nothing but black coffee and smoke 3 packs a day of Chesterfields, okay? And come running out the back door and say, that was Pablo Cruz, his biggest hit, straight from San Francisco. Let me tell you, folks, it's hot outside and the traffic's stuck. But you can get dollar oysters right now and every Wednesday at the Blue Crab House. And admit it, people, you made out with that girl for the first time in the back of Mommy's station wagon to this song right here. 8143 says, JJ Rick, big Gator fan here. I am very worried about this game. And if I had to bet, I would take Miami. I'm glad you said that because there was a time in my life. And I think I created this back in the late 80s. And my brother and I coined it paying for the win. You can't do it when it's a 11.5-point spread like it was last week, Florida State against Georgia Tech. But if you have a minuscule number like this, or you can, but, a lot of times it's not. Yeah, you got to have a small line. You got to have a pick 'em. You got to have a field goal or less line. And what it comes down to is if you're a Gator fan right now and you're getting this line at 2.5 plus, you get plus 2.5. What are you willing to pay to grab a victory? The finance that you get in return for a loss still should not mean anything to you because the most important part of this is for your school to win the game. In this case, the Gators to win the game. Are you willing to put $500 up? Are you willing to put Are you willing to lose $500? Are you willing to lose $1,000
for your happiness?
I'll tell you right now. Florida State ruined my weekend at noon on Saturday. I would whip out $1,000 right now in a heartbeat. If you told me that game was played over and Florida State was going to win it, would I pay you $1,000 without even thinking? And I haven't bet in 10.5 years. It's absolutely worth $1,000 to me. It ruined the weekend. And I've done every show. I've been pissed off all week.
Might ruin the rest of the season.
Right. Is it worth $1,000? Yeah. Is it worth $2,500? Well, I need a little bit of time to think about that.
Yeah,
okay, $2,500 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. So ask yourself this question. What are you willing to pay for the win? Would you lose $500, but you'd be able to say, we beat Miami? The only thing that really stinks about something like this would be, plus 2.5 if it falls within that small number.
Well, then you just do the money line.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can do money line as well. Absolutely, you can. But we used to call it paying for the win and, the wide rights and all of that stuff. And I had no money then. I was a bartender. I think I, maybe scraped up $150 or $200. And I won that money. But that money, even when I had no money, was worth nothing to me. The Notre Dame trip, I'll tell the story often, the game of the century in 93, came right off the, I was working for ABC Sports as Jack Arute and Lynn Swan's sideline assistant. This was an NBC game. The sideline reporter was O.J. Simpson. We got from Chicago, rented a car, slept in the car in a parking lot, scalped 2 tickets for $600. We paid for the trip by betting Notre Dame. Okay? Notre Dame won. The trip became paid for. I would have given that money, and I don't remember what it was. I would have given that up without even thinking about it to have Florida State win that game. So it's reverse psychology. It's supposed to be a little bit of some sympathy, but it really doesn't add up because true fans, you're going to put a number on it where the money is a massive concession, right? It doesn't come close to equaling the gratification of winning a game. But I would do that.
Especially in a game like this where your friends are Gators or whatever. At least Florida State and Miami, some of my best friends are Florida State fans, but we play every year. So, hey, we get destroyed or whatever this year. We always have next year. With Florida and Miami, it's we do actually play next year, but most of the time it's super random. It's in a bowl game or whatever, or you may not play them in 5 or 6 years after that. So, the bragging rights means so much more to me in this game.
Yeah, to me, it's never been about bragging rights. It's been about sanity.
Well,
it has.
I think one comes with the other.
Listen, I don't. As you know, I do not toot my horn often. I am the perfect winner. I never get in anyone's face. I never tell them that they suck. I never walk through here and say, "Hey, we beat the Canes." Hey, we beat the Gators. That's just it's survival. It's personal satisfaction. And there are others, okay, that I work with that if the Gators are on the right side of it, I'm going to hear from them.
Yes.
Okay, and that's fine. I'm just telling you the way that that I am when it comes to that. Here's a guy here who says, what in the hell are you talking about, Ballou? Are you already drunk? Could you not understand what I was telling you? Could you not comprehend it?
Basically, he's saying, are you willing to, bet against your team? That way you sort of it's a win-win either way, but how much are you, how much is your wanting your team to win worth to you?
Exactly. And even if you get a large pay, it still should mean nothing to you compared to the fact that you lost.
Right.
There's a little something there, and that's why I termed it way back when paying for the win.
And it's why I never bet on my own team, because of situation where you lose the game, so you're pissed, and then you also lose money.
Well, I don't even
double whammy.
I don't even know if I talked about it on here. I talked about it off here, and I know I mentioned it to you. It was like I got more questions last week on whether or not I thought Florida State was going to cover than whether or not they were going to win the game.
Yes.
And I said, I'm like, why would you lay...
You were warning everyone.
Why would you lay that amount of points on your team? Because what if he missed the field goal and Florida State won by 3 points in overtime?
Yeah.
Okay, would your elation still be the same? Or would you say, oh, my God, I can't believe I lost a few $100s on that game? Or whatever it was that you bet. I never get that. Now, if you're a Jaguars fan and you're a 1-point underdog, or if this line goes to even, and we know that Bradley Chubb's not going to play now, he's on the pup. We know that Odell Beckham Jr. is not going to play. We'll get injury reports beginning next Wednesday. If all of a sudden it looks like Miami's really beaten up, that's different if it's even or if it's sure. You want to, and most Jaguar games are like that. If you look at the future spreads, that's one thing, but not 11.5 points. No, that's nuts. Let's play this before we take our final break of the night. Ryan Nielsen and Press Taylor said a lot today. Press Taylor still does not know if he's calling plays. All right, they have 10 days to decide that. Today he talked about it, but still doesn't know. Of course, he's been calling them from the sideline, no longer in the box. Ryan Nielsen had a lot of really impressive things to say, but I thought comparing Eric Armstead to Calais Campbell, who, of course, Ryan Nielsen had last year in Atlanta, was probably the best of what he said earlier this afternoon.
A little bit. Eric's such a very good person as well as Calais. Like they're awesome people, and really looking forward to see Calais after the game. Because he is a good person, awesome guy. It was really fun to be around him last year. Eric provides the veteran leadership. He's a coach. Like you hear him in the meeting rooms, and hey, I see it like this, and I'm talking, and it helps the younger guys. So it's a similar role, We're going to play him maybe a little bit similar, but then differences too now because two different players. But there's some similarities to him. But can't say enough about the people. Really great guys, fantastic men.
And there's no question there. Both have been, man of the year. In the National Football League. I don't know Eric Armstead well because he was on the pup. He was kind of away. Did one interview and then did one about a week or so ago, right at the end of training camp. So, but he appears to be a very impressive guy. I just hope he's healthy and he's ready to go. All right, when we come back, let's put our final touches on this one. Tomorrow night, we expect Tim Brando, among other things, Rafael Esparza, and then Friday, the Philly Rooster. I'll be on the AM from 4 to 6 on Friday. Okay, tomorrow night, same time right here. I'm on 92.5. We'll be with you, as always, from 6 until 8 o'clock.
Gotta get to the station. On a scale from 1 to 10.
10.
10. 10. 10. 10. 10. XL.
This is Keith Scott with Veterans Wholesale Cabinets. We are Northeast Florida's cabinet experts and your best option to elevate your home improvement project for both homeowners and contractors, and attention to detail to every project. VeteransWholesaleCabinets.com.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
The water heater's broken, disposal doesn't work. Toilet's overflowing, the wife's going berserk. There's water all around me, the faucet sprung a leak. The only way to fix it is to call on Roland Reese, 'cause I got the blues, yeah.
For all your plumbing needs, call on the Bold City's best, Roland Reese Plumbing, and lose the bad plumbing blues.
I got the blues, yeah.
Calling all fans of Duval to downtown Las Vegas during the game against the Silver and Black. This is Lauren Brooks from Helmets and Heels. Join us at Circa Resort and Casino this December for the Jacksonville Game Day Getaway, featuring an incredible all-in package. Get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. The all-in package is only available until August 30th, so act now. To book and to join the Heels in Vegas, visit circalasvegas.com today.
Keeping up with Seminole Nation.
Join the Noles and their road to repeat as ACC champs.
Stay close to the Seminoles with the Florida State Seminole Report. Brought to you by your local Ag Pro, your home team on 1010XL.
With Labor Day savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,500 off select appliances from top brands like LG, America's most reliable line of appliances, like the LG Smart Top Load Washer with easy unload angled front, so you can reach every last sock. Right now, get up to $1,500 off select appliances in-store and online with Labor Day savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid August 22nd through September 11th. U.S. only. See store online for details. America's most reliable line of appliances per independent study.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville, here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Where on your body is the weenus? The answer next.
When you call Southern Oak and file a claim, you'll be handled by our hand-picked vendors who will analyze any roof, storm, or water damage. It'll save money for you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The weenus is your elbow skin and can be pinched as hard as you want, and it will never cause pain.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
For any urological concerns, let Ackerman Urology be your trusted partner in men's health. With offices from Amelia Island to World Golf Village, they treat bladder conditions, elevated PSAs, and ED. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, the Jacksonville Jaguars today, 14 players who worked as part of the 90-man roster were added today to the practice squad. E.J. Perry, a quarterback. Jalen Jackson, who I had on the 53, the undrafted rookie out of Villanova, is a running back, right? 3 wide receivers, Elijah Cooks, Austin Trammell, Joshua Cephas. 1 offensive lineman. That'd be my only surprise. Stephen Jones, who was injured for the majority of it. A couple of tight ends, including Sean Bowman, a tight end. Let's see. 2 defensive ends, DJ Coleman and Joe Gaziano. Tanner Muse, a linebacker, Christian Braswell, and Trey Flowers as corners, and Terrell Edmonds as a safety. So that is the way that things did look. I forgot one tight end. It was DeGuara. So there you go. And there's been some reports that they've added a couple of players from Kansas City, a running back, who I'm trying to get confirmation as well as to whether or not he is actually going to be a part of the international program. That is a former rugby player and a running back currently with the Kansas City Chiefs. His name is, I guess he goes by LRZ, Louis Rees Zammit, all right, a running back. There are reports out there that he will be joining the Jaguars. Again, have not seen anything that has come in officially from the Jaguars. There was also another report out earlier today that Matthew Jackson, a defensive back for the Tennessee Titans, would become the 16th man to join this practice squad, but we have not seen that come in as well from the Jags. So there you go. I like the practice squad. I mean, the most important one to me was Christian Braswell, but I also really wanted to keep an eye on DJ Coleman, and as well, veteran guys like Edmonds and Flowers that can really be important if there's an injury. Those 2 players right there with a lot of experience in the National Football League. So I like what they have done. I like to see them get at least 1 more interior offensive lineman. I was kind of hoping for the 53-man active roster, right? Not only the practice squad, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. There's still an opportunity here to make some more moves, make some trades. You can always bring in another guy and cut one of these players. The practice squad is usually fairly active throughout the course of the 18 weeks and 17 games.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
All right, Hacker Nation is up. Anything catch you by surprise with the Jaguars' 14 players that were announced today?
No, I agree with what you said. I'm happy about Braswell. I'm happy about Coleman, Edmonds, and then the receivers, Elijah Cooks and Austin Trammell. So I have no complaints of what they did. I guess maybe the only question I have, I thought they liked Blake Hance, right? And Blake Hance doesn't make the team, and now is not even on the practice squad, right? So that to me is a little odd. We'll see about Tyler Shatley. Again, there's been no word there. I guess Andrew Parker's another one that I thought would get a look on the practice squad. They go Tanner Muse instead. I remember early in camp, Rick, the talk was they liked the undrafted free agent out of App State. yet he was one of the first 10 guys cut on Monday, and it does not appear like he has a future here in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Very intriguing stuff. I think we learned that, I mean, Tanner Muse is on there simply for special teams.
Sure.
He's not a linebacker depth guy. He played safety at Clemson.
Well, that's what we talked about last night. When you have 21 of your 53 that are 280 pounds plus on the O-line and the D-line, you got to stack up as many special teams guys as you can, which is specifically why Tim Jones is on the 53 and Elijah Cooks and Austin Trammell are not.
Last year, when Florida State played LSU, it was one of the most amazing pre-games leading up to it, the couple of weeks before it, and I was in Orlando before the start of the game. But both fan bases were convinced they were going to win that game. And you usually don't get that. You usually have one hedging it a little bit. When I look at Florida and Miami on Saturday, am I wrong in thinking that both these fan bases believe they're going to lose?
Well, it's funny you say that. Both fan bases believe the opposing coach is a moron. Florida fans think Cristobal's an idiot. Miami fans think Billy Napier's an idiot. So somebody with that logic is going to lose to an idiot on Saturday. I have Florida 7-5. I've said all offseason I would take 7-5. I would sign on the dotted line, and I would head to the hills right now. Swamp magic, whatever you want to call it. This to me smells like Utah 2 years ago.
Okay.
Miami's better. Miami should win the game, just like Utah was better, and Utah should have won the game. Utah had a lot more talent. But for whatever reason, Florida in the swamp in the fourth quarter found a way to win. I'm kind of sensing that a little bit. And again, I don't think I've been an orange and blue homer the entire year. I mean, I've had them getting boat raced by Tennessee. I give them no chance against Georgia or Texas or Ole Miss. But as we're getting closer to kickoff,
I know you eliminated Florida State off that list after their performance.
I'm going to see what
Saturday.
Florida State does against BC. Yeah, that was an eye-opener. But as we get closer to kickoff on Saturday, do I expect Florida to win? I wouldn't go that far, but I wouldn't be shocked by it any longer.
It's going to be. I think whatever team runs it. And do you think Johnson's going to play?
Apparently, he's number one on the depth chart, and Billy Napier about an hour ago said that the word is they expect Montrell Johnson to play on Saturday.
Minor knee surgery, so that's good news there. And both teams have explosive backs. Both teams have very good weapons. I mean, great wide receivers, too. So it's going to be an intriguing game. All right, what else you got tonight?
Yeah, we got a ton. One of your guys, Bill Bender of the Sporting News, is going to join us to talk college ball coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. Steve Palazzolo, formerly of PFF. He's now with the 33rd team. He's got a brand new podcast, Check the Mic, him and Sam Monson. Steve's going to join me to talk Jags, AFC South, and more. And my Jags one-on-one interview from earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center. Yasir Abdullah, 2 years in a row, finds his way onto this roster, onto the 53-man roster. And I asked him flat out, did you do one of these?
Yeah.
When you made the team yesterday. His response was interesting. You'll hear it in about 20 minutes.
That's coming out. He flat out earned it. He flat out won that job. No doubt about it. All right, that's Hackers coming up right now. Have a good show.
Thanks, buddy.
Tomorrow night, Tim Brando will be on the program with us. Rafael Esparza will check the money live from Las Vegas. Good friend Niall Lawrence Stample, among other things. That'll be Thursday night from 4 to 6. On Friday, I'll be with you from, tomorrow night show 6 to 8. Friday, I'll be with you 4 to 6 on AM. That is 10:10. That'll be Friday afternoon. For JJ LaSelva, the Philly Godfather, and John Osher, I am Rick Ballou. We'll talk tomorrow at 6.